Hey, my name's Anthony Fuller, the SEC Youth Director, and I am honored and privileged to be here with our President, Pastor Emmanuel Osei. Pastor, it's great that you can be with us to take some time out of your schedule to have a frank discussion about the youth work within the SEC. Now, the reality is that many people are going to be talking about the executive orders of Donald Trump, and there'll be more discussing. In fact, I know that for a fact people are discussing right now the snap government change by Theresa May. Why do you think people will even care or be even affected by the fact that you're now our newly elected president?
Anthony, before I respond, let me say it's an honor to be here.
Yes.
I'm just happy to be with you and to be able to speak about the youth work within the South England Conference. Now, you mentioned the executive orders about given by Donald who?
Donald Trump.
You also said about the snap election about Theresa who? Anthony, we work for a higher authority than the British government or the United States government.
That's true. That's true. And so, Pastor, with you being our new SEC president, what are some of your views in regards to the way we should be going forward? How do you perceive as a conference we should be working together to ensure that there's unity within our conference?
That's a great question, Anthony. Let me say that as a father, as a pastor, and as a president, the work of the youth is heavy upon my heart. I have 3 adult children myself. They are all millennials. Now, let me bring this home by telling you my own story.
All right.
We were blessed to have 3 daughters. We introduced them to the Lord early. In fact, we dedicated them in the church when they were born. We would take them to Sabbath school. We would teach them the Sabbath school lessons, and we did our best to raise them. In fact, I even had the privilege of baptizing my own children when they got to their early teens.
So you baptized all 3 of them?
I had that privilege of baptizing them. And so, I thought this is great. My children are growing up to know the Lord and everything was going to be just beautiful. But, as the years went on, Anthony, I noticed that they became somewhat disengaged with the church. Their enthusiasm and excitement towards spiritual things and what the church had to offer didn't have that impact upon them as it did previously. Of course, this was a great concern to both myself and my wife. I watched as the years went on, and as a pastor, you get to visit the different churches. And I noticed as I went from church to church, I noticed that there was this segment of our church, the millennials, who were either they were not in the church, or if they were on the periphery of the church. I'm excited to be in this position, to have the opportunity of working along with you, because I know that we have a major problem working with our young people. We have got to get to the stage where we are listening to our young people. In fact, Anthony, statistics indicate that out of every 10 individuals who are baptized, 1 to the church, 5 of them leave the church. 3 out of those 5 are millennials.
Wow.
Now, this tells me that if we continue to hemorrhage like this, the time is coming when the church would become extinct.
Yeah, that's a reality.
So we have an awesome responsibility to address this problem and to be able to do something in order to address the needs of our millennials and our young people. So I sit here, Anthony, representing the many fathers out there. I sit here representing the many grandfathers out here. Now, I've been blessed. I have 2 grandchildren. And as I look into the future, I am fearful for what's going to happen to our church when these grandchildren come of age. Will we even have a Seventh-day Adventist church? It's a serious problem.
Yeah.
Now, I'm interested to work along with you because whatever your plans are, I want to partner with you as we seek to address this problem. This is our problem. And together, I believe that by God's grace, we can find a solution. So please share with us, what plans do you have as the youth director for our young people?
Well, let me just say, thank you for sharing. It's really touched me, and it's something that resonates with me personally, as I know it resonates with many of our viewers listening in. I also grew up within the church and have seen not only myself, but many of my friends disengaged. And so many are not even worshiping with us. The millennials are a key age group. Just last week, members of parliament, they produced a document on how to really engage with them. And one of the key characteristics with them is to be valued. And what I'm realizing is that not many of our young people feel valued within their local churches, within the conference. Even the term sometimes youth seems demeaning. Oh, they're the youth, they're this, they're that. And what we want to try and do is empower them to bring them into a position of leadership so they can live out the dreams that God has placed on their hearts. We are also focusing on trying to engage with the leadership to create more ministry opportunities. Sometimes we have the only options are to be a deacon or a youth leader or an elder. We want to try and see how we can broaden the scope so that many of the talents that are within our churches can be realized on a real level. We have an awesome event coming up called 50 by 7 where we want to begin a consultation period. And so I know you want to say something about that.
Yeah, let's address the elephant that's in the room. Our young people are crying out, and we have to listen to what they're saying.
Yes.
The best way we can do this is to have this consultation. And so to the young people of the South England Conference, I'm listening. This weekend where we get together, where we can begin dialoguing, where we can begin listening, I think is crucial if we are to move forward together. And so I'm proposing that we have this weekend consultation where we can actually sit down and really begin to listen to the cries of our young people. If we're going to put anything into practice, we need to hear from the young people themselves. Yes. So on the weekend before camp meeting, June 16th, 17th, we are going to come together and have this new project, this new initiative, which will happen yearly, called 50 by 7, where we will send out an invitation to get 50 of our leaders across the conference, 50 of our teens, 50 of our 18s to 35, 50 of our 35 to 50, 50 of our 50 plus year olds, as well as 50 of our parents, so that we can come together under one roof to discuss the issues, the realities within the South England Conference. As Pastor said, we want to discuss the elephant in the room. And the reality is this: in many churches, in many homes, there are many elephants. We can't do everything all at the same time, but we want to begin this journey of dialogue, but more than just dialogue, of listening to what the needs are on the ground. And so listen out for more information as we push out some promotional material on the 50 by 7. And Pastor Osei, I want to thank you for your time and thank you for your passionate words to encourage us as young people, as young adults, that we are being very intentional, being very deliberate with the youth work within the South England Conference.